I'm Chrarity Migwi. I work with Oil Change International as the Africa Senior Campaigner, and I am based in Nairobi, Kenya. My dream for change in the world is, having a healthy, safe, and just environment that allows us to, to thrive. I always say I'm fighting for a healthy, safe, and just world. Our core expertise as Oil Change International is mainly focused on research, communication, and advocacy. And my role particularly is on campaigning, so harnessing like these tactics, I would say, to get fossil fuel companies, basically to phase out fossil fuel companies. And my focus is in Africa, so getting fossil fuel companies out of Africa, and that means like working together with communities, especially where the projects are happening, to see how we can connect and collaborate with each other, strengthen each other, to be able to phase out these fossil fuel companies. So my focus on campaigning is mainly on the deltas of Africa. So that is the Niger Delta, where there's oil and Shell being the biggest perpetrator, in Senegal as well as in Okavango. So those deltas of Africa. This work takes a long time, mostly, and considering the climate crisis that we're already in, like in my country and most of Africa currently, we're suffering a heat wave, and I'm sure in other continents as well, there's repercussions of the climate change. So technically, it means in reality, it means we don't have the luxury of time, to fight or to phase out these, fossil fuel companies. But advocacy, lobbying, all this does take time, and it gets me worried that in as much as we are hopeful about winning these fights and phasing out fossil fuels, that maybe we will not be able to do it in time to avoid catastrophic impacts of climate change, especially considering that we are suffering some of those impacts right now. I'm also afraid that because of that gradual pace of phase out, that more and more damage is happening to the environment and to communities. Because if you consider the Niger Delta, the amount of damage that has been done there, I don't think it's something that you clean up in one day. It's massive damage. It will take also almost more decades than the pollution has caused to repair the damage. It means generations being subjected to suffering, and not just one generation but multiple generations being subjected to that suffering because of these fossil fuel companies. Meanwhile, every year they keep on profiting, they keep on making even more money, at the expense of the people, the environment, the climate. So we are all suffering, and fossil fuel companies keep on making profit. So that gets me worried. I know one one quote by one of the local environmentalists in my country says that human rights are not things that are put on the table for people to enjoy. They are things that we fight for and then we protect. So I'm hoping that once we are done with all this fight, protecting them means that we also get to enjoy them. And so, like, I'm looking forward to a time where we can breathe clean air, not one polluted by fossil fuels. Air that is like safe for us. We can live in a society that is just, that we do not have to fight dominant powers, especially the ones that are exploiting us, and that we can have like a sustainable economy that is regenerative, and that is not all about exploitative and profit making at the expense of vulnerable communities. So my relationship with both ends is new. So what I have done in the past with them was like, one, actually analyzing like Dutch involvement with African continent in terms of like different aspects like trade, in terms of their energy practices, in terms of the carbon credits market. And also we have worked together on like on just transition and like trying to amplify that through a joint op-ed that I worked on with Marias, which was very exciting. So I feel like that collaboration has really helped to amplify my voice as well as amplify African interest.